Don't you go to sleep now. Got it. All right. It's happening.
It's happening.
It's happening. Wow, it happens like right away. As soon as I hit go, yeah, these are things we learn. Anyway, welcome to Next Level. It's Next Level from Level with Emily, where we get together and talk about this week's upcoming episode. I'm the host, Emily Reese, and Sam Keenan over there is the producer and our artist and composer as well. Hi, Sam.
Hi.
How are
hi,
ya?
Sacha.
Oh, hi, Sacha.
I'm all right. I'm all right. Yeah. We were just talking offline about Emily trying to convince me to come to the Loons game with her.
Yes, the Minnesota UFC is their official name, nicknamed the Loons. It's pretty fun. It's like I've played as a trumpeter just hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of sporting events, right? You play in pep band, you
Yeah.
play in basketball, you volleyball, like all the things. Hockey. I don't think I ever played my trumpet at a hockey game, but I've certainly been to them and had a lot of fun at them. But I'm telling you, those Loons games take the cake.
Yeah, they sound like fun.
So much fun. And I really, this year, they just, we have a semi-pro, I think they're semi-pro. The Aurora is the ladies soccer team here in the state of Minnesota. The Aurora, one of my favorite color schemes and logos of any. I love their colors and their logo is really cool. And I'd love to go see them play as well. So I just remembered I forgot to turn this on. Do not disturb. So yeah. So anyway, it was really fun. I went to the home opener a couple weeks ago. It snowed really hard, and it was great to see them play in the snow. And then I'm going to go this Saturday night. That is their next home game, I think. And that's where I'm going to be then. So that'll be fun. It's weird because I really don't know much about soccer. Like I know a lot about baseball. I know a ton about football. Football is like my jam, right? So it's funny to like go to one that I kind of don't know. I mean, I know the gist, but you know, yeah, it's
they got to get the ball into the thing or whatever.
They get the ball down the way, and they do a thing. And yes, Sacha, they play soccer in the snow, as I witnessed. I'll post some pictures. I don't know. I must not have done that. I'll post some pictures in the Discord from the home opener a couple weeks ago, because it was 2 weeks ago Saturday, and I'm telling you, it snowed. And then we had like this it took me an hour to get home, and I only live, I don't know, 6 miles from the stadium or something. 7, maybe. It took me an hour.
I could walk.
Awful. You could, yeah, you could. Yep, and it's worth it. I should park at your place and walk because it's pain, total pain. That would be a long walk though. But yeah. So this week's episode, let's talk about some video game music. First off, I do want to kind of plug VGMCon, which is coming up April 14th through the 16th. And that'll be a great time. Patrons, we're having a little patron gathering the night before all of that starts. So Thursday, I almost said August, Thursday, April 13th in the evening. And we're going to have some really fun special guests. Insane in the Rain Music, which is Carlos Eni, who composes, it's really like kind of making his way out there as a composer now, in addition to all of his performing and stuff that he does. Don Palumbi from Game Night, he's a fantastic drummer and arranger and jazz musician and all the things. And Jason Graves is going to stop by, which is really exciting. He won't be here in person yet, but he'll be swinging by the Discord. I've asked, I said, I know you're going to be like getting ready for travel, but he's agreed to stop in for a little while, which will be fun. And this week's level guest, Rob Kovacs, is going to be in town and kind of actually was the instigator of all of this in my mind, because he's like, well, I'm going to be in town Thursday. And I was like, well, we should get together, you know? So so that's why I told you that long story, because Rob not only is this week's guest for the absolutely phenomenal soundtrack he made for Straylight, but he'll also be joining us for a little patron Discord shindig on Thursday, April 13th. So I'm going to stop talking, Sam, and let you talk a little bit about the music for Straylight, which is like 80s vintage Prophet 5 synth music, which I love.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it's really fun. It's really synthy for real. It's a lot of sawtooth waves, as you know, they say, because that's what they're called. But it's like like just real 80s sounding synths and really like tons of music, and just a lot of fun and really good blends and excellent melody and just good stuff. And the episode is really fun. He knows how to do an interview for our show, apparently, because he got on the piano and he was like explaining stuff and talking about his writing and talking about his the arrangements and construction of the tunes and everything, and that's what I like to hear.
Yeah, he really digs into the theory. And when you see the YouTube video, you'll see him sitting in his studio where he's got like 8 billion keyboards and, at least a baby grand or some kind of grand piano that he sits at. I'd have to see the video now, but and so he can just like rotate and just play, and he's just so talented that he can just like play all these things and talk through it, which
Right.
I couldn't even play. Like, I always struggled with that as a keyboardist. Like, I was like, I've never understood how people could sing and play. And I'm like that with like guitar too. I'm like, I can't just, I have to concentrate on one.
Yeah.
But so that was a really fun aspect of this particular episode, is that he's literally playing and explaining like music with music theory terms and stuff. And sometimes not, but just, yeah, it's really cool. It was really fun.
And he gives references to where he got inspiration for some things, like that one tune that he uses, I forget what Radiohead song, but this kind of Radiohead chord progression and also that one
Radiohead tune.
Oh, he didn't say which one it was.
But I think,
but it's a common move that
tune,
Radiohead
right?
does.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's some Kid A thing or something.
Well,
yeah,
because I'll play you what I think it is. I think it's everything.
Okay.
Stand by, because we fixed this shit.
Yeah.
Oh shoot. Yeah, but I had Straylight up, so I got to pull up Radiohead really quick.
Okay. Yeah.
As long as it's okay. Yeah. Is that what he's doing, kind of?
Yeah, that's the kind of chord progression move, and it's like that's one of those, that and also Karma Police are progressions that just like just carved a path through, especially like indie rock music and that kind of stuff. It's like after those songs, you just started hearing those progressions pop up, and it's because they feel so good, but it's this A minor and then the F sharp and the bass, but those it's like those kind of things really like feel good, those progressions, and it's just, I like when composers point that stuff out, because it's just cool to be able to follow the tracks. And also that he brought up who was it? Composed, like, classical composer. Yeah.
Petrushka.
Yeah, and he plays the example of it on the piano, and then how it relates to his tune, and that's really cool. Yeah. Do you have that up too?
Yeah, I do. Here. Yeah. I don't remember what tune he does that in, though. That's the funny part.
Oh, crap. Yeah.
I know. Do you? I mean, if you can you pull up the session? I can't open the session now because I have Logic open. But if you open the session, you'll find it. It'll be right next to the Stravinsky track. Actually, I could find it on the playlist, too. Listen to us figuring shit out as we go live
Yeah,
on YouTube.
as we're live.
Of course, it's the Straylight theme. Of course. All right, that's a good way to start. Let's play
Oh
it.
yeah,
Here
yeah,
it is.
okay.
Different key, but same idea of this kind of waiting.
Mm-hmm.
Just waiting, not waiting in water, but like you're waiting in line.
Right. Yeah, then the chords kind of pulsing at you.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
So warm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
Go ahead.
people like him make putting stuff like that together sound easy. Because it's just like, oh, you got a high synth going doodly doo, and you add a little to it, and there's a song. It's like seems like there's nothing to it, but
Yeah.
try sitting down with those sounds and see what happens. And it's not so simple to make those arrangements clear and good, and also the vibe you need and all that stuff. And yeah, and that song is a good example. Like the whole set of tunes is really, it's got a hopeful, like up vibe to it, and that's nice too.
Yeah. And the tracks kind of unfold. Of course, it's like the game itself is a VR game, and it's only ever going to be VR, as he explains. He's like, there's no way you could play this on console or on a PC unless you have a VR headset. You need a VR headset to play this game, because it's
I don't have one.
I don't have one either. You kind of fly through, like you're kind of like grappling or brachiating, or I'm not entirely sure how, but you're swinging through these cosmic kind of neon landscapes. And I think that the game, he explains how they came up with the idea and why they settled on an 80s theme, but then he also he has this Prophet 5 synth and, from the 80s, and just wanted to use it. And, it's nothing like a modern synth where, it's limited in what it can do. And if you allow yourself to, stay within those constraints, it just makes the most beautiful things. You can't, like you can only save 40 patches in it or something like that. You can, and so that's like not even an entire soundtrack of a game, right? Like you can't save just endless amounts. And even, so it was really fun to hear him talk about making it. And I'm just a huge fan of it. I love this music so much. I think it's really great synth, Prophet 5 synth music, it's just fantastic.
Yeah, and that's what you're talking about there is so, that's so cool about people who have the ability to use old synths, 80s, and even going back into like old keyboards, 60s and 70s Farfisas and stuff like that.
Yeah,
those instruments have they all have their own qualities to them because they're not perfect.
Right.
And a lot of modern representations kind of try to emulate those imperfections, but if you've got the real thing, then whatever's slightly broken about it is going to give you a unique flavor that kind of brings things to life and sounds really neat. I was also thinking about I forget who it was, maybe you'll remember, somebody who was on the show talking about how that 80s sound, to somebody who, to an old man like me, like is nostalgic, but for younger folks, it's just it's like a palette from the past, and you can use that stuff in modern contexts, and it sounds really, it's got a freshness to it, that's just not about the nostalgia. It's just about, it's about us having the hindsight to be able to pick out what's good about the 80s, and then, leave the leave the rest of the stuff behind, and that's really good.
It is. One of my favorite things about the soundtrack is that it's very modern in its treatment of the 80s sound, right? So this is not what music sounded like in the 80s. This is what music sounded like sort of like it, you know.
Sort of.
But
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
didn't. Yeah.
Yep.
So it's like, yeah, it is. It's a funny
Yep.
thing, and it definitely. I know it hits me differently in that way because it does immediately strike that nostalgic chord. God, how many colloquialisms can we throw in here at once? But it's like it really it does hit that for me, and
Yeah.
probably
To make it truly
immediately
80s,
biases me.
to make it truly 80s, you have to like record drums in an airplane hangar or something like that. So they go,
Yeah, he didn't have the Roland on here. He
yeah.
didn't. The 808. Oh,
Yeah.
God, that's so
And just
funny.
have it not swing at all, you know?
Right. Well, and that was like so fun to talk to him about because this one track in particular, the way it starts, it's like so groovy. Let's listen to Void Compass.
Okay.
Do you remember this one?
Yep.
That bass.
Yeah.
This one has a really cool breakdown we're going to listen to as well. It's happening. It comes up, I think, just in the first minute. We'll find out. Yeah, right here. So good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's so good.
That's like kind of exactly what we were just talking about. Like that is so 80s. It's got, that 80s like sound to it, palette wise and stuff. And also the kind of the Nintendo sensibilities with the moving lines and stuff.
Yeah.
But it just is not from that era at all.
Right.
And it's good that it's not, because it's cool that it's the way it is.
Yeah.
And it's got it's got more like interesting rhythm stuff than you would ever hear back in the day,
Yes, way more interesting rhythm stuff. And Charles Hill in the chat is saying that Rob will play this on piano during his Twitch streams, which he streams on Twitch 3 times a week, I think. And and I mean, that's one of the coolest things about him too, is that even though on the synth, that line that you heard, that boo-doo-doo, boo-doo-doo, boo-doo, boo-doo-doo, boo-doo-doo, boo-doo, that's like not something he necessarily played. Maybe the synth had some kind of sequence going on or something, but he'll play it. He'll like literally play it. He'll be like, well, I programmed it, but here's how it was. And you're like,
I programmed it. It goes like this. Doodle, 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 doodle. Yeah, that's crazy.
It's amazing. Yeah, he's so talented. It's just really cool. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's like totally one of my favorite things about that conversation. But yeah, I mean, and we literally go track by track. Like and it's not a super long soundtrack. It's not like there's 60 tracks, right? I think there's 10. So, we talk a little bit about each one. Did any stand out to you, because I know that when you're mixing, you're not listening in the same way you would listen if you were casually listening, right? So I know it's not always like sinking in with you in the same way, but I'm curious if anything stood out to you.
The ones that stood out, I think already came up. One of them was that one with the Radiohead-ish progression. I just thought that that one was really a nice vibe. And whichever one that you end the episode with, is that the same one?
Oh, I think I end it with Last Campfire, don't I? Because that's my
it may be,
favorite.
yeah.
I was really selfish.
Oh,
on that choice,
okay.
Everyone, just so you know, that's not always how I am. Sometimes
that's your fave. Yeah.
No, I ended with Starforge.
Oh, okay.
Okay, let's play a little Starforge. If my playlist is right, that is. Let's hear Starforge. Starforge is one of the singles they released.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is like,
So
it
good.
just feels good already.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you're ready to just float off.
I know. I just want to be like floating in a pool with a piña.
Also, I'm a sucker for these like slower jam, you know.
Yep.
And that
I love
sort
it.
of, you know, so great.
Yeah. And then when the melody comes in, it's just so like chill. I think it'll come in soon. We should just keep listening to it because it's so goddamn good. Okay, yeah.
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 Yeah, so great. Yeah, they're just like very simple moves, but it's not so simple to put that that simplicity together like that, and you know, and have things like queue up other things, really great little transitions. All you know, I think that comes up in the interview too. Is just the great transitions all throughout.
Oh my God,
all
dude,
this music, just
best.
really interesting, different from each other, clever little transitions.
I even re-recorded the beginning so that I could hit the post that I wanted to hit in the beginning, which hopefully maintained, but because it's, oh shit, it's got to be the Straylight track. Let me see if I can find it in this track.
Okay.
I'll know it if let me look in my notes and then we can play it. If this isn't too annoying that I look this up, because it's just so good. 225. Okay, yeah.
Sacha says anxiety gone.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right.
Okay. Yeah. It's hard without context. Let me back it up a little bit, because that whole part is so good. He does this whole like octave thing that we talk about quite a bit in the episode, and just so fun. Like,
yeah.
Octaves. I love that so much.
Very cool. And yeah, and the lead up to that, when the synth is like, you know, switching notes.
Yeah.
It's the way that's probably played, and not programmed, just feels so nice because it's not robotic. It's like it's got life to the to the timing of the notes, you know. It doesn't just eat.
Right.
Yeah, it's not quantized.
It definitely
to the moon,
would have gone
eat
in the 80s for sure.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, would have for sure been eat.
Yeah.
Amazing. Dude, I love this soundtrack so much. I have to play my favorite bit in the last campfire. I feel remiss if
okay. All right.
Because this one's Radioheady too in the beginning. Because it sneaks up on you, this one, I feel like, and because it's not kind of till the end that it really gets all like anthem-y, and like it's so good. But yeah, we'll just kind of go to about halfway through. This is a short one. Yeah. And then does this for a little bit.
With
With this great solo in it. Yeah. This part, yeah.
Yeah, that lush layering and
So
harmony.
lush.
Yeah.
So good. It's so good.
It is so good. Yeah. Yeah.
And like, I've known Rob for a few years, and he's like, let me share you this soundtrack. I'm like, okay. And I'm like, oh my God, this is so good. It's so good. I love it. Yeah. Just a joy to hear this. And super excited to share the episode with everybody on Friday. I don't know if we're going to get a playlist from him in time because it's GDC this week and he's there and he's performing live while he's there. So I don't know if we're going to have time to get one from him or not, which is a bummer because we've missed out on a couple weeks of them. But, you know, we get them when we can. And
yeah, well, we've got Radiohead and Petrushka, so that's
yeah, exactly.
that's two.
Exactly. Is there anything else you want to say about Straylight from Rob Kovacs or anything else you can think of?
Just that I wish I could play it.
I know. Someday we will. You, Sam Keenan, made us our little logo guy, little fella that we call him, our little green guy with headphones.
Yeah.
You made us an exclusive sticker for patrons, so it's important to point that out. Learn more at patreon.com/level. Come hang out with us in Discord and talk about this and other episodes. It's really fun to share music with everybody. So, yeah. Find us on Discord and all the places.
Yeah, this is a long episode. So
it is long. Yeah, it's like an hour and a half.
It's
sorry.
It's, half off or 2 for the price of 1.
Exactly. It is a twofer, isn't it? All right. Well, cool. I'll get this updated on YouTube as soon as possible. Links will be down there eventually. As we've learned, adding music makes the rendering take quite a bit longer, so it'll be a few hours till that's ready, but we'll get it going. So thanks, everybody.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us, folks.